What's up, y'all? It's K-Star here,
It's Jiff.
and is this the End of Third podcast? I'm gonna let you start this one off, man. He got a little gym for y'all.
All right, so today, what I'm gonna be talking about is that the load does not get lighter. It doesn't get.
Bro, fuck the quota.
No, hold up. I got it on my phone. I just saw it.
The load doesn't get lighter, you get stronger.
Yeah, the load doesn't get lighter, you get stronger. And I just saw this on Instagram earlier, and I don't know why it resonated with me so deep. Well, I mean, I do, but obviously, I'm saying we all know that's a true statement. But it's like it kind of ties back to consistency for me because I feel like when you take a crack at something so many times, it's like, damn, you think in your mind, I'm failing, I'm keep trying, why it's not working, like I'm doing everything, I'm trying. But it's like this is really forming you to become like a new version of yourself, which may be smarter, which may be stronger, right, with the gym. But like the other day, well, not even the other day, like earlier today, I was doing a homework assignment and I kept having to go back to the tutorial video, watch the tutorial, and then get the answer wrong. I got the answer wrong a bunch of times, and I'm like, bro, like, am I just gonna wait till the professor explains the homework? Like, what I'm gonna do? Like, but I'm just, and then finally I got the answer, but I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, damn, like that little trial and error that I just went through trying to figure out what the answer to the problem was. That was really me getting smarter. Like that's really how you get smarter by trying something over and over and over again until like you eventually figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like parenting, and also I was also thinking about this, like parenting and things like that have no how to sign, how to guide. Like you just, I feel like the best way to really learn something in your life is just by trial and error, trying it. If it doesn't work, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like you try this way, you know it doesn't work. That's just one way that you know for a fact doesn't work for you. Like there's always going to be ways for you to achieve your goals and what you want. So I feel like why give up? Like you're always going to have problems in your life or things that come up. So don't give up. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta adapt, be adaptable. You know what I'm saying?
Because, bro, the whole quote of and what you said about when you do something like wrong, when you do something that is not necessarily the way you're supposed to do it, and you realize like, all right, I did this wrong. This is not how you do it. There's just one way that you'll never do it again. Like you got one step closer to your goal because you just found out one way that you'll never put your energy towards doing it again. Like if I know I'm trying to study for this exam, it's the first exam we got and I fail because I study a certain way. I know to never study that way again. So now I'm gonna look and say, all right, how can I change my study habits to pass? And then my next study habit may not be the one that gets me like an A and may give me a C, but that's progress from what I got before. And then you just keep finding ways and refining the ways that you find. You keep refining those into like the blueprint. Then that should really become like the way you carry yourself, the way you live your life. Like, but it all comes through that trial and error. Like you have to experience the feelings, the emotions, and just the raw experience of doing something wrong per se. Like we had said, I don't know if it was in our last video, but I remember we had talked about the fact that knowledge and experience are combined are the only way to get wisdom. Like you have to have both. So when you just have all this knowledge of something, like if somebody tells you all these things about how to do something, or somebody's telling you all these things about how not to do something, that's good to have that knowledge. But once you really get into them shoes and get into them situations, that knowledge can go out the window. You need wisdom in them times. So that's real what you said, bro. You really learn through that experience. And another thing, when I think about that quote, I think about the fact that when your workload or even whatever you're doing, like you said, the load doesn't get any smaller. You just get stronger with it. Like that's with muscle memory for real. And that's just with mental repetition. Like if you got a dance you're trying to learn, you have certain things you need to learn for your job, for school, for your life. The more you do them over and over again, what you're doing doesn't change, but your mind starts to change on what you're actually doing. It starts to remember what you're doing. It starts to actually learn what you're doing in order for you to be able to do it at a high level, at a consistent level. Because the goal for anything that you're doing is to make it a subconscious thing. Like you want to make all of your
good habits.
You want to make your that's literally about to say. You want to make your good habits subconscious to free your mind up to have more creative energy. And so when you take those things that are hard at first, you have to be conscious about them and like really learn how to do them. But once they become subconscious and this becomes second nature, you have so much open energy and so much more mental capacity, more of a mental capacity to be able to be creating and be taking in information.
Mm-hmm.
Once you understand the fact that the load doesn't get any smaller, like you're just going to continually get stronger through everything you're doing.
Bro, that's a real good point that you just touched on. And also, like when I think about like the load doesn't get lighter, you just get stronger. I also think about like just the gym aspect or just like that slow grind. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that really having to fall in love with doing something that like and then perfecting your craft at it too. Like we all have that though. Like we all have something that or even like within ourselves, like our self development, I feel like we like get into a frenzy about the phases that we have in our life, not even knowing that like this is just a little pebble in like the mountain that I'm ready to go on as far as life goes. So it's like that's so crazy to me that this never stops. Like the things that go on in your life never stop. Like
ever.
The grind never stops. And what I mean by the grind is just like the daily things that happen in your life, or just like the grind is in grinding for a better life. The grind is in grinding to be successful, grinding to make it to see the next day. That's never gonna stop until it stops. And then when it stops, you can't do nothing about it. But like until then, you're gonna keep encountering something. And it's just like you have to just fall in love with this. Like fall in love with your life that you live in and understand that like whatever happens, it can't hurt me. It's just if it doesn't hurt me, then it's here to allow me to grow into a better person. So I can't look at it as like I just want to give up. You know what I'm saying? Because then you let life beat you down when you just give up off the things that are gonna happen anyway. Like you would rather be like up, like as far as your mental, your physical, your spiritual, and still have hardships or still try to figure something out rather than be down on like your mental, your physical, like just be beating yourself up. And you still got them hardships too. Facts. And you letting your hardships beat you up every time.
Facts.
It's like, damn, like
because then you got both of those happening at the same time.
I'm saying.
And then what also happens with that is the fact that the load doesn't get any smaller. The load doesn't get smaller, you just get stronger. With that, is saying that life is going to keep moving no matter if you are or not. Like you control if you get stronger or not. You also control if the workload increases or not, but you directly control if you're going to get stronger or not. So like when you're in a bad habit or you have a certain pattern that you know you have that's bad and you're avoiding it, like all you're doing when you avoid it, every single time you decide to avoid what you're actually going through, you're just impressing that concept deeper onto your mind. So it's getting harder to get away from it because you're actively impressing it onto your mind. Then it's gonna seem like more of a daunting task to get that done. Like because you're putting all your energy into avoiding it rather than putting all your energy into like just facing it. Because once you facing it gets rid of the problem for one. And in the process of facing it consciously, you get stronger. Like you get stronger as your workload increases. That's why and then it's like you realize as your workload is increasing and you're getting stronger, you realize like I don't even want to do anything that feels like a heavy workload. And then like your mind will literally change, and then you'll start to get into situations and you'll start to attract people, relationships, and energy that doesn't feel like work at all. So the workload may be getting more, like you may be getting more work towards you, but the workload may not be increasing in like a sense of difficulty or in the sense of like for somebody that really loves school, like you really love school, you really love what you want to do with your education or whatever. Like for somebody like that, when they apply, and it applies differently to everybody's life. Like it's not saying that once you submit to the flow, you'll just like I don't love school in terms of like the work. So I'm not gonna say like, okay, me submitting to the flow is gonna make me just fall in love with school and wanna go the school route. Not the school route as in school, but the school route as in like I'm gonna take my degree and use that. But what it is saying is that for somebody that does love school, like when they submit to the flow and they just, okay, I'm going to keep getting stronger as things go on. One assignment may feel like a lot to them right now. Once they change their mindset, 10 assignments may feel the same way one assignment did because their mind is different and they're getting stronger as they're growing. And it's the same way for any of your pursuits, any of your passions, anything you're doing in your life, even with growth, like self-growth. You have to realize that just because today I was able to wake up and meditate, read 10 pages in the morning, read 10 pages at night, meditate at night, and be conscious the whole day, that doesn't mean that tomorrow is going to be easy. Like tomorrow is not just going to be, oh, I can do this every day because I did it today, in terms of it's just going to be this easy every day. Like you may wake up tomorrow and it may be 10 times harder. But as that workload increases and you face it with the mindset that I'm going to get it done either way, you get stronger by facing it like directly facing and not saying, okay, I'm going to read 7 pages and I'm going to like kind of meditate. Or if you just face what you're trying to do, if you just face it and get it done, you get so much stronger through that. Like when you consciously go through what you're going through and you consciously allow yourself to realize, okay, the workload is getting stronger, but I am too.
Right.
Such a transcendent feeling.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like we should end it off with that.
That was smooth right there. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, I appreciate y'all for listening, man.
Always, man.
I feel like it's been a minute.
Nah, this is our first do a video in like a week, bro.
Yeah, but it's much more where that came from, though, man. It's June.
It's K-Star.
We out.